What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning back in. It really means a lot to me and my brother, and I hope you guys were all able to enjoy your weekend. But let's just jump right into another little day trading recap here. So, as you guys can see from the thumbnail, you know I had to end the red day with a bang, right? So, in all seriousness, I was only up like $8, basically wasn't green at all today, but I definitely still grateful to not be in the red at all, right? $8 is still $8, and here are all my fills on the day. I had 18 orders, 18 fills, and as you guys can see, up like $4 on TQs and SQs, both of them. So I want to recap with you guys about my day. What do I think I could have done better? Because without a doubt, there was a lot more you could have capitalized on if you played your cards right. And I just want us to pay attention to market open as usual. Right around here is 6:30 in the morning when the Nasdaq was opening up, and leading into the market open, it is always very important to pay attention to how it was previously trading, right? Leading up to the market open, because that can help you have a better idea of which way the Nasdaq may be headed, right? If it wants to continue this type of pattern. And looking at the pre-market leading up to the market open, right around here, the Nasdaq was trading between the middle VWAP and the top VWAP, and it kept indicating signs of an uptrend, right? It kept making higher highs, basically here, right? Anytime it went high, it would keep going higher. The next time it ended up going, and higher lows, meaning the lows it was forming kept getting higher too. Anytime you see higher highs and higher lows, that's a very good indication that something is uptrending, right? That it's gonna start to potentially uptrend in the positive direction to move up. And basically what I want to show you guys today is the Nasdaq on a different time frame. So this is the 5-day 5-minute time frame. And like I just showed you guys, leading up into the pre-market and just the past few days, the Nasdaq has been trending up, right? So because it has been so bullish recently, I was looking to try to get into TQ's play, right? That's what would make sense because of how the pattern's been performing. So right when the market opened up, let me go back to the 1-day 1-minute so you guys can see better. This was right when the market opened up. It had a nice gap up, right? But as we know with the Nasdaq, right when the market opens up, it does tend to kind of fluctuate direction pretty quickly. So it's always important to just be aware of that, to not get caught up in that and try and avoid it if you can. So this was right when the market opened up. A lot of people saw this uptrending pattern, right, leading into the pre-market, which led to this huge gap up. And right after that, there was a quick change of direction, fell all the way back down to this middle VWAP. But as you guys can tell, the whole pre-market, the Nasdaq was basically using the middle VWAP, this purplish line here, as a great support to try and basically rally right after it every time it approaches it. So that's what I saw going in, but unfortunately today I wasn't able to take part in this beautiful first play up here because of just a stupid little mistake, but I overslept, right? I woke up and I didn't hop onto the market when it was already basically right around here at 6:45, 6:50 in the morning. And because I saw that the Nasdaq does have a big tendency to, when it approaches the top VWAP, become a little more overbought and potentially drop. So that's what I was looking out for. So this morning, since I hopped on late, I saw that the Nasdaq was already closer to the top VWAP. So I just wanted to wait and see the top, basically the Nasdaq start losing momentum, right? I wanted to stop seeing it push up so aggressively, indicating signs that it could be looking to change directions now, right? Because if we just see these continuous big green bars even breaking above the top VWAP and trying to go, then obviously I'm not going to look to kind of still trade this pattern because it would be breaking the pattern, right? If it did start trending above the top VWAP and going. But as you guys can tell from looking at the 5-day 5-minute, anytime it's approached the top VWAP, like I said, it might push up, but it always tends to become overbought and gap down a bit. So I was doing my part to try and stay as patient as possible. So I knew when it was approaching the top VWAP, it could definitely start looking to find a reversal, right? And I actually did end up taking a play somewhere right around up here for SQs, and I averaged up as it broke below the blue EMA line. but I did take a red trade, my first red trade, because it ended up basically forming a higher low, didn't want to start selling off yet, and flushed me out. And when it flushed me out, I knew that I definitely needed to be on the lookout for another SQ's play because it was approaching the top VWAP again. But not only that, I did get flushed out because of this strong green candle. As you can see, it was really starting to rally. But once again, I saw that when it approached this new high and this new basically resistance level, it was running out of steam, right? And that's an indication I'm looking for that I might want to send a position. It might be smart to, it might be in my interest, in my best interest, because it's tended to become overbought around these levels, right? And when I don't see the volatility continuing, it's giving me signs that maybe a little more selling pressure is going to form, right? Because everyone also can see that the Nasdaq tends to sell off right around these areas. So I did take an SQ's play after taking a loss. I was down about $30 to $40, and I was only trading with $6,000 today rather than the $10,000 I'm used to, just because I've been wanting to scale back a little since I have been so red. So when it approaches top VWAP area, once again I saw it did want to start kind of showing signs of resistance. It didn't want to break out and keep going. I sent another play on SQs, and as it started falling, I wanted to make sure to wait for clear confirmation this time. And what is clear confirmation? It's basically this little fake out I got caught in. It's the opposite of that. I don't want to see only one red candle break below the EMA. That's when I averaged up to try and look for a play to fall, right? I know it didn't end up falling here. It found a support and went higher. And what I could do is be a little more patient and not just wait for the first little red candle to break below the EMA. I can start waiting for maybe multiple red candles to start forming, and as you guys can see, that's what did end up happening. After I found the resistance here, right around here when I saw it fall, I saw it break below, try forming multiple kind of red candles in a row. I sent my other position. I averaged up with another 4K, putting me in with 6K, and I wasn't going to sell out until it broke this resistance area now, right? So today what I definitely try to focus on where I went wrong, the last time I traded real money, was I kept getting caught up in all this chop in the middle. And what I want to do is avoid that and make sure I do have a great risk to reward ratio when I'm taking a trade. So I got in my initial position again somewhere up here. I averaged up when I did wait for confirmation, and I saw that there were multiple red candles wanting to form, and it wasn't just really trying to have a strong bounce kind of like it did here, right? It found multiple green candles in a row. So I didn't see that. I averaged up, and while it did end up pushing up a little, it made sense to only sell out if it broke that new resistance, right? That didn't end up happening. And ultimately, it ended up falling all the way to the middle VWAP, which is where I cut my shares. But why did I barely end green today if my risk to reward was so on point, right? Well, looking back at my trades, I realized how my risk to reward wasn't the best, which led me to barely be up anything because I did sell my shares here because of the fact that I knew it tended to bounce off the middle VWAP, but if I really wanted my position to be worth it, I need to let my winners run more and be more comfortable holding even if there are pullbacks like this. Because while this was a nice and strong push up, it would have never passed that resistance level I set originally, right? Where if it broke that, I would have been out completely. It never came up to that point and ultimately made a lower high and sold off even more aggressively to kind of halfway between the middle VWAP and bottom VWAP. So definitely missed out on a nice chunk of profit I could have had if I just held this position longer and let it play out. But ultimately, I'm not the most mad because I did still end green on it, even though it wasn't the best, and I did sell at a potential support where it made sense, where it could have bounced and changed direction, right? The only thing I'm trying to make aware to you guys is, in order to be really profitable, I need to be real with myself, and every trade I take has to have a great risk to reward ratio of at least 2 to 1. And my ratio, if I averaged up somewhere here as it started falling, and let's say I averaged it up here, I would have looked to sell all the way up here. But on the flip side, I look to sell at the middle VWAP. As you guys can see, there's like a 0.37% profit I could have made rather selling at like a basically 0.25%. So that's definitely not the best risk to reward. If you really want to and you want to play a little more risky, you can average up with your full position sooner, closer to the resistance, and just set your stop there. But I did want to, I don't like to personally average up fully just because in case I'm wrong, this could just, really start going, and that would just put me in a bad spot, right? Uncomfortable spot to want to manage my risk. So just want to make you guys aware of that. Today could have worked out a lot better if I let my trades basically play out more, and the risk reward really has to be worth it. Because while my first trade I lost like 30 to 40, my second trade I made only 40 to 50, right? So that's why I'm only up those $10, where if I did let that trade play out, I could have been up closer to $100 on a day or something like that. So yeah, I just want to make you guys aware of that. And as you guys can see, the Nasdaq has been pretty bullish the past 5 days. So just keep that in mind. The direction is uptrending, but obviously we can start approaching levels where after we're consistently pushing up so much for day after day after day, right? It can start making sense to kind of start looking at the flip side for a potential change of direction once we approach a resistance level, right? Because like I just said, it is uptrending right now, and it could very well keep this uptrend pattern. But we do need to make sure that we pay attention to the potential areas that it has tended to kind of get rejected and sell off in the past, like right around here, right around this area. We are approaching a strong resistance even with the SMA line. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow, and I hope you guys all killed it today too, and I hope you definitely all learned something valuable out of this video today. And if anything, I wanted to stress how important the risk to reward is when you're taking trades. So thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been another day trading recap, and I'm definitely very excited to see how the rest of the week plays out. So thank you guys all so much for tuning back in. It really means a lot, and take care, guys.